Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I thought it was going to be cool having lightsabers in the background, but actually they're really, really noisy, so I'm just going to shut them off for a second. Yeah, okay, so that is way better, not having that noise on. Although it does look cool, right? So, you join me today in review of the 13th Riga Wushu Open Championships, which we competed in last weekend in Latvia. The Great Britain team comprised of myself, Steve, my teammates Sam Mack, Zach Ladkin, and Hui Tong Liu, and also Ashley Wykes as well. We competed in our usual competition events in preparation for the World Championships coming up in Dallas in what is now 4.5 weeks' time. We had a great competition. We did our routines just as we will in the World Championships coming up, and we had some great results, although obviously being our preparation competition, our final preparation dress rehearsal competition, if you will, we have a lot of things that we need to work on, which is a good thing because we don't want to be going into the World Championships having not addressed some of those things. I would say that fitness, for the most part, for all of us was pretty good, although we do still have, I would say, a good 15 or 20% left in the tank to gain. That was quite evident across the board in our routines, particularly mine, where I felt the lactic acid build-up really sort of setting in at the end of the third section, start of the fourth, which is quite normal for this time in the preparation. Thinking about my routines in particular, I felt that the choreography was correct, although there is going to be a few minor changes from what I did in Latvia to what I'm going to actually do in Dallas. Not too much, because that's going to be changing too much at the 11th hour, which we really don't want to do. I would say overall everything is pretty set how I want it to be, achievable, realistic routines to do. The performances I did in Latvia were, I would say, about 60 or 70% of where I expect them to be in Dallas. I think what was quite difficult to ascertain was the weapons routines, short weapon and long weapon, only because it was a one-day competition in Riga. So we started at sort of 9 o'clock in the morning, and we were done by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So they weren't quite sort of back-to-back routines or back-to-back categories, but it was just enough time to cool down if you weren't staying on the ball, which obviously makes getting prepared for the next category quite difficult. Warm up, do the routine, cool down, warm up, do the routine, cool down, etc., etc. What we tend to find is when we do these one-day competitions is the second routine generally tends to be not as good as the first, and then the third routine ends up being the worst of the three, simply because you're trying to cram in 3 full routines in a short space of time, and it's a warm-up, cool down, warm-up, cool down that does it. So for me in Riga, that was the case. My fist routine actually was the best of my 3 on the day. Nice and clean, hit all the Nandu, felt energized, felt composed, really enjoyed doing the performance. Sword routine actually wasn't too bad. Did start feeling a little bit fatigued towards the latter half of the routine. In Gunshu, the long weapon, I feel like it almost started to fall to bits. My overall fatigue levels were really starting to come in. I stayed hydrated. I was actually having an intra-workout drink like I do in training as well. Looking back, that maybe I didn't carb up enough for breakfast or for dinner the night before. Obviously the food is very different from what I'm eating at home as well, so in a short space of time, arriving on Thursday, having the Friday to sort of get used to the food and the environment, and then competing on Saturday, that short space of time had a bit of an effect. Hardly slept all Friday night. These things happen. I didn't manage to sort out the aircon, so I probably got about an hour's sleep Friday night, which was terrible. It's like the worst thing you can have before a competition. It's very, very tricky to perform at your best. But that being said, the first and second routines I'm very happy with. The third routine, bit of choreography tweaking. I'm not going to look into it too much, only because when we go to Dallas and compete, it will be one routine on each separate days that we're there. Plus also we're going to be in the United States for about 5 or 6 days beforehand to acclimatise, get over jet lag, get used to the food. Looking forward now, we've got 4.5 weeks left. This week I've just done a bit of light training, There's always a come down after the competition, after whichever competition. There's always a bit of a drop, and it's important to sort of bounce back and then really start to make gains for the last 4 weeks. Now for me, this is competition season. I've done my off season, I've done my pre-season, that finished before Latvia, and now I'm into competition season. So this is where everything comes together. The training intensifies a little bit more focused on stamina, because it's going to be all about the fitness now. Still conditioning, still hitting the legs, still hitting some complex training, some plyometric training. Got to make sure that all of the body is working exactly as I need it to do. More stretching, but also more recovery. So I've also increased the amount of carbs. 120 grams of oats cooked in water with 80 grams of whey protein for breakfast, 200 grams of sweet potato with 250 grams of chicken breast, spinach and tomato for lunch. Dinner now, the turkey mince is out, and it's now white fish. I have 300 grams of white fish, oven cooked, with 125 grams of brown rice, green beans, garlic and ginger, and a bit of sauce thrown in there as well. Dessert is 100 grams of 0% fat-free Greek yogurt and 50 grams of blueberries. So everything is gearing towards the right direction. Just got to stay injury-free, focus on my Saturday training with my coach and my teammates, make the tweaks to the routines, and we should be all right and ready to go for Dallas. So I'll catch you soon. Thanks for watching.